Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. A little while back, I threw a question out across my social media platforms asking for you all to do me the favor of defining early in your own words. Got a lot of really neat responses that really kind of validated what I felt like was necessary to talk about. See, the other day I was sitting around with my wife one evening and I said, all right, I'm going to head to bed. I got to get up early tomorrow. And the very definition of early is what a lot of you alluded to, like a time on the clock, or if it's still dark outside, that's early. But early by definition is before the usual or expected time, right? So what I realized in that moment, and all of you would relate, is that if you've got to set your alarm to get up at a time that's before the usual time you get up, then that's early. But early by definition is also at the beginning of a period of time. Right, so if you used it in context this way, you might say like, man, early in the game, I thought for sure my team was going to win the way they were playing. But then things changed over the course of the game for your team, right? So towards the beginning of a period of time is early. And that's kind of what the definition I wanted to start with, because if you've followed me for any amount of time, you know how I love to take opportunities to help you change the way you think. The Apostle Paul tells it to us this way in our Bibles in Romans 12:2, is that we don't have to be conformed to the behaviors and customs of this world, but we can let God transform us into a new person by changing the way we think. So I would love to take this moment here to help you maybe do what I've done, and that's change the way I think about the time that I get up. Because don't you know that early really has turned into like a dirty word for us, right? If we're not getting up at the time we want to, then it's a bad thing. And that's just kind of the context that the whole world is in right now. I want it my way, right away. Thank you, Burger King, for that slogan like 45, 50 years ago that started us down this path that says, if I don't get it how I want it, when I want it, then it's not right. And I don't like it. And we've let that bleed over into what time we get up during the day. Don't you know it to be true that you've had mentors or counselors or preachers, pastors, whoever it might be, tell you that there's this thing you can be doing that's really important for your life. And if you don't feel like when you look at your day, if you don't feel like you have any time for it, then change your habits and get up earlier so that you can get it in. Well, then we hate the idea of now losing sleep and all these different kind of things. It really comes down to managing our calendars a little better. There's absolutely room in there if we make these things a non-negotiable, whole separate conversation. But just to this point of early, what I want to do is I want to start my day with the right attitude and the right habits and the right behaviors that will then bleed over into everything I do for the rest of the day. If I start with a bad attitude and I start lazy, that will bleed into the rest of the day. But if I just recognize that whatever time I got to get up is just whatever time my day is going to start, and I can back plan off of that and work to go to bed at a time that allows me to not only get the quantity of sleep that is necessary for me, but within that quantity, if I'm tracking it right, then I can understand that there's an optimal amount of quantity that will give me the quality sleep I need to start my next day ready to go. Whether or not that alarm goes off at 4 a.m. or 9 a.m., it doesn't matter as long as I've back planned off of that to get the right amount of sleep I need to wake up ready to go, recovered from the previous day, ready for the new day. Because here's a quote that I've come across from an author named Mark Miller in a recent book that I read. He says that others will control many of our opportunities, but we control our readiness. Hit me up in the comments, man. Give me some feedback. I'd love your thoughts around this idea of early and how we can change the way we think about what time we start our day.